I am Andreas Gjertsen, representing Tyin tee nesten architects. We're a small studio of architects in Norway, based on me and my colleague Yashar Hanstad that you can see in the background. It's a story about how we became architects and how we continue developing as architects. Hope you enjoy it. So it starts from early on when we were students, and the first project we did as students in Trondheim. And then it goes through the transition to moving to Thailand, living in Thailand, how the culture shock changed us as people and also as architects. And it's a very personal story. It's not made for understanding only architecture, but it's more a recap of our experience and our adventure, you could call it. So I think it could be an interesting book for students of architecture and other people in creative businesses, because we've tried to be honest here and talk about the bad parts of the stories and the things that we didn't manage to do right, and our doubts and uncertainties, because there are so many of them. And I think the title itself sort of signifies that story. It's a combination of the term behind enemy lines, because we left our comfortable Norwegian situation and then ended up on the border between Thailand and Burma, where the conflict, we could hear the landmines in the distance, and we sort of felt like we were behind enemy lines in that sense. And the other one is that architecture is based on lines, and we try to see beyond the line and see what the line signifies, and in that sense we're looking behind the lines, or beyond. Sort of, you can read between the lines, but you could also actually, in architecture, read behind the line. So it's a dual meaning in the title that I think is interesting. And early on, working on the book, we felt unable to write the story in a good way ourselves. So we called our good friend Andreas Shayda, who is a journalist and a writer. And the interesting thing is that Andreas came to our building site, the first project we did, and lived with us to write about the work we were doing. And through discussions with him and a really close friendship, we understood that his comments and the talks with him changed the way we talked about our work. So he became important for everything Tyin stands for. And of course his language and skill with language is far better than ours, so it was a very interesting collaboration. And then through the book we tried to explain how we developed as architects, and also what made us make these connections, these new connections. So I think it's more of a story. It's a fairy tale in some senses, and of course the projects are presented as projects, but I think the in-between chapters are maybe more interesting, the connecting chapters. The way the buildings are presented in photos and text is often just very to the point and without any mistakes. You can retouch everything and everything looks like it's perfect. And we know it's not. And in collaboration with the editors and the team in Japan, we've actually managed to make something it's a product that is, in some ways, it's bigger than what we could do. We couldn't do this by ourselves. So personally, I'm very proud of it, but I hope also that other people will see the value of it. I'm sort of hoping it's volume 1, and that you will see in the future that we will be able to continue changing, continue adapting to new circumstances, and changing as human beings. I really hope that people finding this book, and that the people that are able to read it enjoy it, and as some of the ideas we work with as architects, the ideas behind the book can be spread, and I hope you really enjoy it and give it to someone when you're finished with it, maybe, so we can spread the ideas and spread it forward in a way. So I really hope anyone that gets hands on the book, read it and enjoy it. I've read it myself and I enjoyed it, so I hope that's the same for anyone else.